Hey guys, welcome back to an episode of Nerd Rant. I'm Dr. Summer, Seth with my co-host.
Somebody who does not have a low voice today, even though you apparently do.
Hello guys, my name is Seth. This is Nerd Rant. Ha 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 ha.
My name's JJ, aka Junior Wolf.
New room. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you hear echo? Like, I watched one of my clips, and I can kind of hear a little bit of an echo. I just think a lot of the... I'm not used to
When
a
you
room.
turn
Hey,
away
guys,
like that, I
moved
heard an
and I have
echo.
a room. Huh?
Yeah, when you turned away like that, I heard an echo. But aside from that, no.
Okay. I did turn away when I was
Yeah.
looking, so... But, I moved. I have a new room, and compared to the old room, it's a room. So,
Yeah.
like... I have
Instead of,
walls.
an attic space, he is now
So
in
the
an actual
sound is
bedroom.
going to be very different, and I plan on doing what do you recommend? I want to get sound panels, but that feels like a bit much.
Do you have a carpet or a hard floor?
I don't like it.
Okay.
I thought
I don't know.
board, which was cool, but they keep falling off.
Oh dear. Yeah, that's not good.
No. But
Yeah. Sound paneling might be helpful.
JJ's still struggling.
Yep, still no desk. This is progressing fantastically. We'll
I
get there
have
eventually.
fully moved in, and I have fully set up. I actually have a video on my channel if you want to go check out the whole setup. And I used it a lot this weekend on a brand new game.
Oh, what game would that be, Seth?
Minecraft Legends 2.0.
Yay, we love that game.
What everyone's been asking. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is officially dropped. We talked about it last week. I know it's a little later. That's just so we can get time to experience it.
Yeah, because there's a
I
lot
did.
here, folks.
I did. JJ's internet did not let him.
Yeah, I was struggling a little bit. I feel like I got a good grasp of zombies, even though I was kind of dying when we played, because I did play that first round with you, which went fairly smoothly until the end where I died because of lag. But I've seen so much zombies in my Instagram feed, like so much. So I got a good grasp of zombies.
You say you got a good grasp, you didn't until you've done an Easter egg, which I'll help you both do.
I've seen the Easter egg.
But you haven't done it. And doing it's very different.
It looks very difficult.
Which Easter egg though?
Several
Don't
of
say
them.
that. That's later. That's later.
Yeah.
That's later. Campaign. We're gonna start a campaign, quick and easy, and then we're gonna get into the main meat of it. So campaign. I did do the campaign right at launch. I also sped through it a bit because I wanted to get to multiplayer and zombies. So there's a lot that I haven't explored, but I do plan on going back and replaying. What have you done? I know you just told me, but for the
did
people.
Pretty much the first mission, and then I got to the safe house, and I did all of the puzzle chain in the safe house, because I was like, ooh, puzzles, I like puzzles. So I did that, unlocked the safe, and then bought all the upgrades for the safe house.
Nice. All the upgrades. How much was in the safe?
Over 1,000.
Okay, no, never mind. You bought the stations.
Oh yeah, is there more than that?
No. In the stations, they allow you to upgrade stuff to upgrade your HP or your
Not
flex.
those,
And when
the
you said
upgrades
fully
for the
upgraded, I'm like,
hideout.
you upgraded everything in one go? I did the whole thing and I barely got half.
Bruh.
I was very... Okay, yes. The stations. They're not that expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's start with the safe house. What do you think about that? Because that was in Cold War. It's slightly different here. It's definitely one of my favorite parts about it, and really changes the aspect of campaign to what it used to be, which is just mission. There wasn't really anything in between.
Yeah, I like the idea. I don't think it was executed to its best extent. It's something you see a lot in a lot of older games, especially like console games like Assassin's Creed, for example. Yes, you kind of traveled to your missions, but you had like a safe house in a lot of those first few games where you would go, you would pick what you want to do, and then you'd set out on your mission. That's where your hub was, your stores, your shops, that kind of thing, all in one area. And so it seems like kind of a dated thing to have at this point, unless you're going to add a cool spin to it. I do like that they had the puzzles, though. I don't know whether or not it was meant to be something you solved gradually, but the fact that it could be solved all right away kind of made me less interested in then further exploring the hideout once those puzzles were done. Because now, like, anytime I'm back there, I'm like, oh, I know I've already found everything. So it's just a little less interesting. But I like the look of it. It is visually really cool, and I liked the blacklight secrets and stuff like that. I even went around for a couple signs and stuff while I was solving the puzzles and used my Google Lens to translate some of the signs and stuff just for fun.
Yeah, so that is one big thing, is there's just a lot of things that I'd probably want to understand. I know you want it, because they're based on other games. It's I always forget, KRB, Russian Black Site. So that's pretty sure that's what it was. And so there's a lot of references, because it's post-Cold War. So there's a lot of references probably to that game. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I think it's interesting. I do think it probably was supposed to be gradual, because you're not supposed to get the 1,000. You're supposed to get one upgrade and then slowly come back and explore it. I will say there's some missions there, not like stop, but there's proper missions there. So that definitely helps, and you explore a little bit differently there. I did see somebody died there.
Oh, lovely.
In one of the missions, the car leaves, and they got ran over by a car. But yeah, so I really like the safe house. I hope that continues, just because it, like you said, it is a little outdated, but for Call of Duty, it just adds a little bit when a lot of the missions are just one mission after another. Which I will say, I know this is probably one of your first proper, I know you did watch me play one. This is one of your first proper COD campaigns. This is one of the better ones. I will also say that. I don't know if you've seen that. Highly rated. Did you also see how long it took? On average, it's like 7 to 9 hours.
Yeah, which is much longer than the other one.
Yes, which is good. It's I think maybe the second longest, which I'm happy about, because it just adds to that package, because it's not just, oh, here's a quick little side story I do in 3 hours. It is a full campaign with stuff happening. I thought it was really good. But in a lot of older Call of Duties, Michael Bay movies, that's what people see him as, and that's what they're supposed to be. So just adding that safe house just adds a little bit to it, instead of just mission to mission. Like, it gives you like a chance to breathe, kind of thing.
Yeah.
In a better way than just looking at it waiting to select the next mission.
I will say, the first mission that I did play, it was really fun going around with the Omni movement. Like, because they're NPCs, you know, like, they're not actually going to be able to account for Omni movement super well. And so, like, dodging bullets and stuff, when you know, like, it's safe to actually try and dodge bullets, it did feel kind of like an action movie with a lot of those moves and stuff. It was neat.
Yes. What do you think of the visuals? Because I will say, this game visually, especially the campaign, looks stunning.
Absolutely.
Especially compared to Modern Warfare 2 and 3.
When I saw some of the characters and their renders, like, especially, I forget his name, the black guy with glasses, what's his name?
Marshall.
Yeah, him especially. Just, like, the texture and resolution on his, like, facial features and everything, like his skin and everything, like, I honestly, for a moment, believed I was watching a, like, IRL film.
I thought it was a movie. Like, I thought it was a proper movie. Like,
no, it did not look like a game engine for a little while. Like, I seriously believed that it was a actual, like, camera shot thing. But no, then I was like, that hair moved a little strangely. I think maybe this is in-game.
I remember playing the 2019 one, and I will say, gameplay-wise, that was a good one, good story. But I just remember seeing the hair, and I was on a PS4, which definitely helped speed on next gen. But just, like, it's stunning. Like, compared to Modern Warfare 2 and 3, like, I'm pretty sure those were on, I played one of them on PS5, and this just looks so much better.
Yeah,
so I was really excited about that. What do you think, gameplay-wise, they could set up the story? We could talk about the first mission. I won't go into it for spoilers, especially for the people, but we'll talk about the first mission. So what do you think?
Yeah,
Bishop Takes Rook.
As people know, I'm not a huge Call of Duty connoisseur, so I'm not huge on the story here. I feel like it was enough to give me enough of a grasp on the characters, especially, like, the parts of the scene where they were in the interrogation room or whatever. Like, those little pieces kind of gave me enough to go off of in terms of the character dynamics, who each person is, how they act, and kind of an idea of why they're in this scenario and where they're going to go with it. I feel like it was a good launching point. Was it as much backstory as I probably could have used? No, but that also will now push me to go and research it a little more, maybe even go play some of the older games to try and get a better grasp.
I will say there's definitely, I think in this game, there definitely feels like there's a reason to that. Just stuff revealed throughout. There's some twists, turns, all that kind of stuff. So it definitely makes sense on why certain aspects did feel a little weak, because I saw a few people tweet that, and since I've completed the campaign, I know those answers. So I will say it feels like there's a little reason. It doesn't feel like it's a lazy lack of evidence, but a meaningful. But yeah, so... and then, what? You saw Adler, right?
Yeah.
What's your first thoughts of Adler? Because he was like the main guy in Cold War. A lot of people really like Adler.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool, I think. I mean, I didn't see it for a long time, so it's like,
But he just came up and
more.
went straight to business.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I want to see some more. Like, I think that's where my brain's at. Like, he intrigues me from that first initial scene, and I want to see more of who he is.
All right. Well, I say for someone that doesn't play a lot of COD, I think that's very promising reaction to the first mission, the beginning of it. So yeah, I definitely think it is one of my favorite. I don't think it's my favorite. I think there's just some meaningful things, but like I said, it's very open, and there's some things that one ending, but a lot of missions have different ways to complete them, and I want to do it all. I'm also going. What difficulty did you play on?
Normal, I think.
Normal. I'm going to complete on veteran because there is a calling card and achievement to do it on veteran, which is like your one shot.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to go through and play that. But yeah, so that's the campaign. If you want to watch replay, it's on my channel. But let's get into zombies, because that's probably what you played most, I'm guessing. I don't know how much you played it for an MP.
I think
let's start with which map do you want to start with? Or do you want to start with like general gameplay stuff first?
We should probably talk about the mechanics first, Mike.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if we could just go through the mission and then like we'll talk about it as we go through. But okay. Mechanics. There's some mechanics. What do you think of the mechanics?
Yeah, so as you think, I think you said this before on the podcast. As you put it, I have never played a real Call of Duty Zombies. Because the ones I have played have never been by, Treyarch. So it's never been like the full experience. But now I think I understand why you said that. Because there is so much more to this version of zombies than there was in any of the others.
Absolutely. Oh my god. I love the fact that so many people were bashing Liberty Falls at just zombies, and now the games come out, and people, I don't know if you've seen, people are saying that these are S-tier maps. A and S-tier maps. They're some of the best maps you've ever had. So I'm so happy about that, because I absolutely enjoyed both of it, and there's just so much to do. So let's talk, first of all, Omni movement. What do you think about Omni movement in zombies? Because I feel like that's definitely a very interesting thing and really changed up a bit.
Yeah, so I haven't used it a whole ton so far because, I don't know, it just feels less important when they're like slow-moving mobs coming toward you. The only situations where I really did use it is if I was cornered and had to get out, then sometimes I'd slide, dive, things like that, just to get kind of through a group. But aside from that, it doesn't feel super important to the mode. I think even if they just had like a non-omni movement slide or dive, then I think it would suffice for this game mode. But not to say it's not super fun to dive and slide all around, because like omni movement does make movement in general just more fun.
Yeah, I definitely think a lot of the time I've experienced is like, you know, trying to get through a door where it's crowded so I can quickly dive through there. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily supposed to be super important, because zombies isn't really movement-based compared to something like multiplayer, where that's a big aspect. But it's just, like you said, it just makes it a little bit more fun and less boring. The other big thing I want to talk about, like in the settings, did you try third person at all?
I did try third person for a little bit. I don't think I really liked it. Just for zombies, I do think I want to try it in multiplayer some.
There's no multiplayer. It is zombies.
Oh, there's none in multiplayer.
Okay.
Oh.
So, yeah. Multiplayer is an FPS. I think it's really good in zombies in certain scenarios. I don't know if I keep it on permanently. So I did the Liberty Falls Easter egg. And in there, you fight like a wave in the church. and having that third person really made it easier to see everything around while you're running backwards and stuff, because you can sprint backwards. So that's where the omni movement also came into key.
Yeah, that's fair. The backward stuff is a lot easier when you can see a little bit behind you, because I will say the one problem with diving backwards that I have is, especially in zombies where there's a lot of props and cars and just stuff in general in the area, it's hard to do those kinds of movements because there's almost always something behind you and you never know how you're going to land. Like, you could hit the side and bounce off, you could hit hood and somehow slide across it. It acts a little weird, but being able to see behind you, you're able to account for that a little more and kind of plan how you're going to land.
So I can definitely see myself trying to get used to third person in zombies, because I definitely think it's going to be useful. However, it is a little weird aiming because you don't fully aim down. It's like the Fortnite aim. It stays third person, even when you have a scope on. So I definitely got to get used to that. I just did it specifically for each strike, but I can see myself using it more. And then I guess we'll talk about the loadout. So we'll talk about all those different aspects. So I'm not really going to talk about guns. There's nothing really special about the guns. We'll talk about that in multiplayer. Designated melee slot. Let's talk about field upgrades. And did you use them much?
A little bit. Not a whole ton, to be honest with you.
That's fair.
It was awkward, I think is the word for it, to use. I think part of it is because I don't know when is the best moment to use it, because I didn't get to play a whole ton. The whole time I just had the energy mine equipped, and
that's what I've mostly been using.
Yeah, I think I used it like 2 times, maybe 2 or 3.
Okay.
It was just I don't know it. I feel like there's a strategy to it, and I feel like you have to learn how to use it, and I just didn't get the chance to because I was trying to run around and not lag and die.
So I will say main reason when I use it is it's a get out of jail free kind of thing. At least Energy Blast, I get crowded, I chuck it down, it kills everything. Right? It's just a passive. I will say though, with augments, we'll get to there in a second, that definitely changes field upgrades as a whole. And there is one field upgrade that specifically heals. So they're just a nice little extra passive, like, ability or weapon type thing. I can't wait to see some more of them. I'm just using that because I'm trying to research the augments, so that one's a little stronger.
Yeah.
Ammo mods, I don't think you use them. And then what about the perks? Because most people know what the perks are, but I want to hear from your experience since you haven't played
the augments.
No perks. Like the Juggernaut.
I think I used 5 different perks.
Okay.
Between the 2 games, I mean.
Yeah.
There was Juggernaut, and then there was the one that makes you sprint and reload faster, was it?
Stamina and Speed Cola.
And then third
Did you use the melee one?
I don't think I used the melee one.
Maybe PhD Flopper. I don't know. What do you think, like, just in a zombie experience? Because obviously, I think one of the ones you played was, like, Ghosts or Advanced Warfare. I don't think either of them have perks.
Yeah,
so
I don't
about,
remember
like,
them
the
having
perk
that
system as an extra side thing like this. This is a staple of zombies. Like, every good zombies have these.
I like it. I do. I think it would be cool to see it be a little bit more of a change, especially on the part of the, like, reload speed ones, or have it be a case of you can upgrade it, like come back to it, spend like a little bit more on the perk machine itself, and then you can like get an upgraded version of that perk. Because Juggernaut, really good, but once you get to the later levels where you're taking more damage, it's like, okay, now it's not as helpful to have. But if I could go back and upgrade it, or even just buy it again for a higher price, that would be awesome. Then it, gives more meaning to it in the later game. I think as an early game thing, it is great to have, but as a later game thing, it becomes less important, especially if I've had it for a bit.
So that's obviously coming from someone that has not played multiple round 70s or completed Easter eggs. So I will hard disagree. But I will say that's kind of the whole point of augments, is it does give you the ability to upgrade these. I will say, I just want to talk about perks and we're getting to augments. I do like the melee mode Shiado. It's a fun one. One fun thing about the the perk system I didn't realize, and apparently it's been around for a while. If you lay prone in front of a machine, you get 100 points. It's called spare change.
Bruh.
I didn't realize this. I was playing with Rachel who helped me do the Easter egg. They were going through laying down. I'm like, why are you laying down? It's like, oh, you get 100 points. I'm like, what? Apparently it's been around with like feel free.
Bruh.
Which is crazy. It used to be like 25, now it's 100. So that's a fun thing. If you didn't know that, there you go. Let's get to augments, because we're not going to go through every augment. Just the system as a whole. Did you unlock any? Did you, like, equip or play enough to unlock?
Let's see if I did. Goodness me, I think... No, I'm not seeing any. I don't think I did.
Okay. Okay, so the way you use it, I think it's just playing. I'm still not super sure. I've definitely been most out of the loop with zombies just because I am excited about the multiplayer. But I did do it. I'm going to play it more. I'm going to watch some videos. And I'm also just waiting for people to kind of dig deeper into it to understand the system. Because there is a lot. There is 100-something augments in this game. Which is great. So yeah, the way it works is I thought it was going to be one major and one minor augment hold tool. Like, I can do a major stamina up and minor melee. But apparently it's one per thing. And they are the Perk-a-Colas, ammo mods, and field upgrades. So you can get a lot. You can really change it up, though. Have you looked through, like, the list, whether that be the blog post or in-game? Have you, like, looked through some of the augments?
I have looked through a bunch of them, and my goodness, there is a lot.
And it's definitely going to add a lot to dynamic-see.
Yeah, no, I can already see, like, all of the people, once they unlock them, like, making their own setups and, like, being like, oh, this is the best one possible. This will get you to round 80.
Someone's already reached max level, by the way. It's 256.
I'm not surprised.
I will say, I definitely want to grind at least the perks to at least get something info. I want to fill every slot for the Perk-a-Colas just because it gives you that boost. I do a primary, major, and minor for stamina up, and I could definitely see some of them being cool. For example, like Juggernaut is pretty cool because you have like, increased health. I think it shoots you up to 300 or 350 from 250 base. But then one of them is like Turtle Shell. It makes all your armor plates on your back. So you take like no damage from your back, but you take all the damage from the front. Which is like interesting. It really adds. And I can imagine that mixed like third person or something, right? If you're good and you're spraying in front of you and you're going backwards or actually hit something, there you go. You're good. So yeah, it definitely adds a lot of dynamic to the game. And I'm really excited to see what a lot of them do, or balance changes as well, to see if there's like something broken. I will say it's a really slow. I haven't played that much, but it feels slow, and it's going to take a long time to get unlocked. Like, for example, the Deadshot, I need 18 augments to begin this research. I have like 6 hours in game, and I've only gotten 5.
Lovely.
So it feels kind of slow.
I do really like it though,
yeah.
because it gives, I don't want to say grind because it doesn't feel like a grind, but it gives something to actually.
It does. I don't want it to be
towards
too fast
instead of just score. Because the way I've seen zombies before I actually started looking at this stuff is
and realizing
the
Easter egg and all the extra stuff. Yeah,
you know, until I realized it was just like, it seemed like it was just like an arcade game in the past. Like if you just look at it, it's like something you go in, you play, and once it's done, you have to start all over, just do it again. And that's fun, don't get me wrong. Like, that is absolutely something that sounds fun, especially with other people and playing multiplayer and stuff like that. But in terms of this, it gives it. You can main zombies as the game. Like, if you want to play multiplayer, you could come in and just play zombies, and it would make sense because there's enough for you to do here.
I actually have someone on my friends list that's 2 days played in only zombies. They're Prestige 2.
Yeah,
and
it's
they've only played zombies.
I'm gonna say this, and it's probably gonna be a little bit crazy here, but they've done the multiple games better than Fortnite did. They
That's
launched
not crazy
3
to
different
say.
modes.
That's pretty easy.
And it already feels better to play than Fortnite did with all of their different, like,
I will say,
Cyberverse
Call
stuff.
of Duty has, about 15 years on Fortnite when it comes to multiple modes. Because they've been doing zombies. Do you know when zombies started?
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
World at War. COD 5.
That's pretty far back.
It's pretty far back.
Era.
So, and here's something that's really cool about that one is, do you know how do you start zombies in them? Zombies was actually an Easter egg based on completing the campaign. You would complete the campaign and then unlock zombies. That was really cool. But yeah, I definitely get what you mean. And that's, again, why I kind of said you didn't play true zombies, because that is what a lot of the other zombie experiences are. There's not really like a super underlying story or gameplay mechanic. It is just how long can you survive? Which I also agree, if you have friends or there's some fun mechanics like perks or ray guns and stuff, that can be really fun. But that's what this is. But yeah, I'm excited to go through the augments. But let's break up the maps. If there's anything else you want to get into before we go through some of the stories and Easter egg and stuff?
Yes, there's so much I want to get into. The person who hasn't played as much as you have.
I don't know what you saw or what you find interesting, so I could explain stuff. So I'm just leaving it open.
I mean, Easter eggs are cool, I guess. Let's
get into. Okay, let's go to Liberty Falls then. Liberty Falls is the daytime town map. What do you think? Forget how far we got. Or why we got past.
Yeah, she was close to around 20, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
We died a lot, didn't we?
We did die a lot, and I probably wouldn't have died if I wasn't. Dude, okay, so I have to call this out because this is so odd. The way this game does what typical rubber banding is so weird. So I would I don't even know how to explain this. I would freeze, right? And I could move, but not move. And then after it processed that my connection was bad, everything else would freeze, and I could run around, I could interact with stuff, shoot stuff. And then once it made some sort of connection again, I would teleport back. But then it didn't matter how good my connection was in that moment. I'd just constantly teleport back and forth to where I was and where I ran to when I had no connection. I
will say, I don't think games implement rubber banding. I don't think
No, but it's just weird how this game performs with it as opposed to other games. Because, in Fortnite, when you have a bad connection, in this game, I had, I think, 150 ping when it started doing this. And in Fortnite, I can run around and still play the game on 150 ping. It's playable. It's not easy, but it's playable. Whereas this, 150 ping broke everything. It's just interesting to see how this game handles it as opposed to others.
I will say, though, I think because of the way the new Call of Duty works out, they do the streaming for the renders and textures. So you need more of a connection just for your game to perform on top of your connection to the game. So that means it definitely requires more. So it probably means if you have a slightly weaker connection, it's going to hurt it more than a game like Fortnite. But Liberty Falls. So I did the bowling Easter egg, I did the vault, and I did the main Easter egg. And there's more. I don't know if you saw, you can even turn it into the one mannequin superhero.
Yeah, did you see the helmet one on top of the church building, I think it was?
Yes, and it drops all the zombies. There's so much. I saw that one, I'm like, this is zombies. This is what people have been wanting for years. So which Easter eggs did you see, and what do you think about some of them?
Yeah, so I saw that helmet one, I saw the bowling one, I saw what I think is supposed to be the main one with the shot tubes and the boss.
Yes, that's the main Easter egg.
Yeah, there was one more, I forget what it was, but
there was a music one too. If you find 3 headphones,
yes, that was it. Shoot the headphones, in the different rooms. Yeah, I saw all 4 of those. I think I actually saved them on Instagram so that I could try them later. But yeah.
Yeah, no. So what do you think of the main Easter egg? Because obviously the other ones are fun inside. Like the bowling one, actually there's an achievement for that one too.
Yeah,
I definitely want to try to get better at that.
Oh, just crazy difficult. Like the fact that by round 5 there were already a lot of zombies. I don't see how you'd be able to do all of this while also upgrading your guns and holding off zombies. Like I know there's the strat of like kill them till there's like 1 or 2 zombies left and then just leave it. But like still, that's it seems like a lot.
So 2 things. 1, just skill. Like when you learn the game, you know how to break it. 2, almost any Easter egg is harder solo. I played with someone and I was trailing it around while my teammate Rachel was doing the steps. So it's a lot easier. You know, there's actually a challenge where you have to complete Liberty Falls Easter egg in under 30 minutes. We did it in over an hour and a half. I will say, though, that's because Rachel was explaining me how to do everything. When you have 2-3 people that know what the Easter egg is and all the steps, because I had a list pulled up of all the steps, but steps aren't going to mean anything when I don't know what the STG devices or HIW. I don't know what these are. But it was really fun. So you made the jet gun, which is a wonder weapon. I don't know if you saw that. That's the big... So that's really fun. That's actually iconic because that was from Black Ops 2, and it's coming back for the first time. A lot of people were excited about that in the trailer. So you use that, you do some things, you spawn a boss, you collect their soul and essence, you put it into the church, and then you go into the church. And by the way, I think we did around 26 or 27, which definitely was a lot harder, but it wasn't too bad. And then that's where the third person really came into play. We had to fight 3 waves of zombies. And again, it's where it's easier. If you're solo, I don't think you can do it. Unless you're really good, you have like pack 3 and like legendary. It's really hard to do. What we did was we had the mutant injection. So you know the manglers?
Yeah.
There's actually a tactical that turns you into the mutant. Which is really cool. So what we did was I had one and Rachel had one. We beat the round 1. Round 2, Rachel used theirs, and then I used mine to beat the boss. Because round 1 is just zombies, round 2 is a mangler, and then round 3 is the abomination. Again, like, it's definitely easy if you know what you're doing and you have the skill and game sense to run around. But yeah, that's actually my first Easter egg ever. Like, made Easter egg.
Yeah.
Made Easter egg, which is really fun to do. And I definitely have had on doing it again. Harder, easier, trying to do the Dark Op challenges.
Trying to guide me through
fun thing. And I will probably be helping both you and Lexi going through it. And another fun thing is there's actually a ray gun camo for it. So if you go into the...
I saw the camo, yeah.
Weapons.
Looks pretty cool.
Wonder weapons. Do you know what's cool about it? First time in 16 years we've had a reskin. The ray gun has always looked like that because it's iconic. So it's just kind of interesting to see that. But that's cool. I can't wait to do the Terminus one. So have you seen the Terminus one then?
I have not seen any Easter eggs on the Terminus map yet.
Okay. So a lot of people are like, oh, zombies is boring, and everyone's using Liberty Falls. It's like, here's Black Ops 3, and here's Liberty Falls, and what does zombie become? When it has a full-on, ready for this? It actually has the Kraken event. There's a full boss fight, and it's the Kraken. It is a full boss fight.
Bruh.
It's so good. People are literally, I saw the one guy, he said he tried for 13 hours to do it by himself, and he couldn't. Instant A tier. Because a lot of the maps, especially where good, you can do it solo. I definitely think that's where the augments are going to come into play. You know, healing, extra health, defense, whatever. But it's hard, but it's so rewarding. I can't wait to do that one. I will say, though, remember how we talked about there's some rewards for doing it before the director mode came out? I'm kind of disappointed. Because the reward, from what I know, so you get a calling card for completing it, and then this is with the director mode as well. It's just standard. You get a different calling card, which has a little color hue and a little skull in the corner. And that's the early.
Lovely.
It says Liberty Fall early. A little disappointed. I was hoping for something else. You know. I did it. So I'll definitely help you get that calling card, and that is the only reward.
Hey, it's about account value, right?
Or, but yeah, so when you go play solo, you can go over the maps, you can see everything. You do earn XP for doing it. And then, Terminus, you do get a skin, all that kind of stuff. Earn exclusive calling card by completing the quest before direct demo is released. So, but yeah, so what do you feel about Terminus? And also, I want to know your thought on the fact of just the two maps. Because a lot of the time, the maps do feel drastically different, and I think this is not an exception to that.
Yeah, no, Terminus, I was very upset that Mike can actually kick me from that one because I was having a really fun time on that one. I liked how it kind of felt linear because that means you kind of progress and you don't have to come back through a lot of areas. It felt more natural as a progression system to me. But
I will say though, real quick, it's just when you're doing Easter egg, it definitely changes the pace of the game. Because if you, because when we did Liberty Falls Easter egg, we're going to the church, and then we're going back to spawn, then we're going back to the church, and then we're going to the groundskeeper, then we're going to the graveyard, back to the church. You know, so linear isn't always necessarily a good thing, because that can definitely make it harder. I will say there's plenty of ways in Terminus, once you explore it a bit more, to go up. Like there's the elevator, just ways to get around. But linear is not always a good thing. I think it adds a good difficulty to it, though.
Yeah. I loved the design of that map too as well though. Like
yes.
Nothing against Liberty Falls, but it was a town. It didn't have a lot of special like characteristics to it, but this one definitely felt like, it's almost like there's something going on here and I can solve it.
That is what a big complaint about Liberty Falls when we first saw it, but of course, like a lot of the side stuff wasn't available day one or at the Con Next. So there's a lot to Liberty Falls, and it's also the idea that it's early in the pandemic, before everyone's taken over. It's very early versus Terminus, where it's happened for years. And what do you think did you see the video? The trailer for the Terminus, like the opening cinematic?
Oh, you think so? I can't remember.
Okay, that doesn't matter. I just wanted to see how confused you were.
Probably very confused.
Yes. So, and then what do you think about the differences between Terminus and Liberty Falls? Not just like a visual, but like gameplay.
They feel very different. Like it felt like I was playing two completely different like renditions of the same game, if that makes sense. Like they progress very differently, they're set up very differently. It did not feel like a rinse and repeat with a different skin.
And then the big thing is, again, Terminus is that Liberty Falls is for the newer players. It is significantly easier. Like, for example, Pack-a-Punch, you just have to open, like, 3 doors. Then you have Pack-a-Punch. Nothing special. I will say I'm happy with where the perks are out, because I will say some maps make it a little easier to get your perks, and it should be a challenge to get to something like Juggernaut, which is such a crucial one. And I think Terminus does that a lot better, but Terminus also does the classic power and just general progression of the map better. A lot of maps have the power system. What do you think about that?
I don't entirely know how to feel about that, because it was weird the way that they did it. From what I remember, the power was the thing where we had to like defend, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. It felt weird to like have to activate a thing that we have to then defend so that we can get power. I feel like it would have made more sense if it was just something we had to like find and turn on, or something that we had to collect.
A lot of games do have that,
for.
or it's just a flick, or you get the power cell and flick it in. But
yeah, I feel like that would have felt more natural for the concept itself of like powering something on. But as a element of gameplay, I do really like it, because it adds a kind of like base defense aspect to it, which is kind of something I liked about some other versions of zombies, like the putting up the boards on the windows and stuff, like defending a spot.
Yeah,
I did like that aspect of it.
I don't know if you noticed. That's gone.
Yeah, no, I do miss that, and that was one of my favorite things of like, I know grown, but COD Mobile is like when they had zombies, it very much like the map they had there felt like I'm defending this house, and you can go out and around if you unlock some doors, but it very much felt like that was your base and you're defending it. And so that is something I do miss about this one. It's fun to be able to go around and do things and collect things and stuff like that, but I think having this as like a little base defense mini game kind of adds that back to it that I feel like it lost by not having the windows.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then also, unless there's anything else you want to talk about zombies, the last thing with it is the fact that we will actually be getting a map by the end of 2024. We'll be having a third round-based map. I'm guessing it's going to be Reloaded, Season 1 Reload, which is like a mid-season update. I'm assuming. But, how do you feel about that? Like, having a third one and just, like, and seeing how drastically different they can be.
I'm excited, honestly.
Yeah?
I will probably play it, depending on if I have it.
Depends on your connection. Desk and connection. I will definitely, we will both be playing zombies together, probably. We're going to see if we can get, like, 3-4 people, because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of JJ can play. Not if he will.
I need to figure out some connection
I
stuff.
will
But no,
be.
I could definitely see myself playing this a good bit. Like, this feels like a really fun one to, like, hop on with friends and play. So I think,
yes,
absolutely, like, we finish up our Fortnite quest in an hour like we usually do, then we hop on Call of Duty
I don't even know if I'm
and
gonna
grind
do that.
zombies.
Like, I didn't do the X-Defiant Battle Pass.
X-Defiant, I don't care about it anymore.
It.
Nobody cares about X-Defiant anymore.
No, I'm so disappointed. Real quick, I don't know if you saw, they did actually add challenges for Halloween and stuff. Did you see how you access them?
Ubisoft Connect.
With Ubisoft Connect. I'm like, I just want an 8-game right there. There's the primary challenge section. Put it there.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you want to talk about a game that does multiplayer good? Call of Duty. Let's get into multiplayer.
Bro, actually, like segued good this time. Oh my god.
I segue all the time. You're just amazing. Also, I didn't call it. It's going to be slightly longer. We're at 40 minutes.
Bruh.
So, we'll cut it hour and a half. Probably hour 50 we should.
Bruh. I don't think we're going to make it that far.
We'll see. So, do you have it pulled up?
No, I haven't had it pulled up this entire time.
I know you had Call of Duty, but multiplayer.
Yes, I have.
Switch menu. Because I've had some bugs. It just kind of a little janky swapping, so I wasn't sure. Okay, so I have played multiplayer a little bit. What's your playtime so far, AJ?
My playtime?
Yeah.
Let me check.
So go into barracks, combat record. Stats, combat record.
Roughly over an hour.
Okay. So we are currently, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We are 4 days in and I'm at 15 hours.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, like 6
I've not
hours
played
of zombies.
nearly as much. I was also having a lot of connection problems with multiplayer as well. So
if JJ had the connection, we both probably would have. He would have played. I did play.
Yeah.
If JJ had the connection, he probably would have played. So, actually, I just want to start with this. Pull up the combat record again. Let's talk about this versus X-Defiant, right? So we just mentioned this. And obviously you haven't played a lot of arcade shooters. How do you feel about the barracks and combat record?
It has a lot more than X-Defiant does. It's a lot of I think their UI could use a little bit of work. It's a very stylized to the game, which I do appreciate, but it's not as easy to glance at and look for certain things. Like if I'm just looking for my the kill death ratio, for example, like I see there's a meter there, but for one, it's called the elim/D ratio, which is strange.
Because it's eliminations, which I think are for higher level assists. So if you do 90 damage out of 100, that's going to count as an elim versus a kill.
Which makes sense, but it also would cause any non-seasoned player to be like, oh, but that's not a KD. And keep looking.
I will say that's just one of those things that I think X-Defiant has that too. I think it's just something that has happened over the years, and if you don't know, you don't know. But if you've played for I think BO4 did it, which was 6 years ago. So
yeah, but I do think having I almost wish it was in a tab kind of layout. If I could switch between tabs and see so here's my kill stats, here's my gun stats, here's my map stats, stuff like that. It's cool to see like all of these different elements on a page, but I would rather have it a little more divided up so I can kind of pick what I'm looking for.
If you went into loadout, you do get to see all your weapons and equipment.
I didn't realize you could click that. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
All right, so here's another thing that you mentioned. If you go over to leaderboards, and you go to multiplayer, you can go to game modes, and you can also see your game mode stats. So you can see your score, win-loss of every mode of you and your friends.
Oh, cool.
No maps. There's no maps, individual, but it does show there is ways to do it. I will say I wish this whole thing was not leaderboard, and I wish that was in the combat, or if you like change it. I like the Cold War one a little bit better, but we should talk about X-Define. You obviously didn't know, so I wanted to explain it. I wanted to see your thoughts. And there you go. It's even more in depth than you realized. But yeah, I'm happy this is back. It's nice. Just having a combat record, be able to see everything. I will say there's two things I want to point out before we get into some other stuff. One, melee does not count as a weapon. I have 226 kills with the knife, but it's at the bottom. It does not have any eliminations. It has kills, and it has a 228 KD ratio. I'm died with the knife. But here's a fun thing. When you go into combat record, do you see lifetime at the top?
Yes.
Do you know what that is? It's a button. Now, you don't have another option, but if I hit Prestige 1, because I Prestige, it is the whole menu specifically for that. So in Prestige 1, I have 2 hours and 48 minutes. Here's my elims, here's my kills, here's my wins in different modes. Even when I go into the different, equipment, I can see in Prestige 1, I have 15 grenade kills.
Oh, cool.
So I thought when you go to the Prestige menu, so if you go to progression and you go to Prestige, I thought that little thing right above it that says Prestige 1 stats, I thought that's what it was when it resets. I thought that's the only thing. I didn't realize everything was broken up by Prestige, which is really cool.
Yeah. It's always good to have more details.
Yeah. So that's combat record. Where do you want to start? Because there's a lot. What do you have questions on?
Let's start in the customized section. Let's talk about the cosmetics and stuff. Because I feel like guns is going to be a big task.
Yeah. Let's talk about operators real quick then. What do you think about the operators and the selection?
I like them. I obviously am not the biggest or the best person to ask about operators, I guess, because I don't know half the characters. But I like the
look. Or
I know some of them from the campaign now. But no, I like the look of a lot of them. It's just, you know me, I like my flashy stuff. And so when looking at these, I'm like, well, I hope there's some skins that come out later because these are kind of underwhelming. But no, I get that it's kind of like the theme of the game and it's kind of the point to be, combat-esque.
I will say, one, it's war, right? So these are proper soldiers. Two, though, you could even see the zombie skin from Prestige 1. Generally what happens with Call of Duty, this is not a unique thing, this has happened for years. It starts realistic, right? We have normal guns, and then we get laser guns and stuff. And then we're going to get Godzilla, or the Attack Titan from Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
So we'll probably get more in due time. Actually, I want to quickly bring that up. One last thing about zombies. What do you think about the Pack-a-Punch? Because I thought that was really funny when you reacted to getting Pack-a-Punch for the first time.
It looked awesome, dude, and the gun looked so cool.
And it was like a laser.
And it shredded, and it was like, pew, pew,
pew. I found that so funny because I'm used to that. That's how it's been since at least Black Ops 2.
I just didn't expect it because it
doesn't know.
It didn't change the gun's model at all, but suddenly the bullets are now lasers instead of actual bullets.
I will say, did you know the first person that Pack-a-Punched their mom? Their dead mother, and he threw it into the mystery machine that voices were telling him to find in a cave. Great! Zombie lore. Great? No, actually happened. Zombie lore is crazy, and we'll get into that later. Not this pod, I'll tell you about it when we get there. But yeah, so I will say, they'll change. Obviously, I know you don't know what a lot of the characters are, but there's a lot of skins in the Prestige, which definitely change it up. So there will be more skins. There's not even a store yet. There's the download pack, but not a proper one. So I can guarantee there's going to be something flashy. Like, I don't know if you remember Klaus, the one robot from the Vault Edition. He's pretty flashy and weird and great. So yeah, operators. Then what else?
Then we have, I guess, just the other cosmetics, like the emblems, calling cards, stuff like that.
Okay. So we'll go over here. We'll go to customize. Emblems. They're emblems.
Yep. Have they always been animated? I feel like I'm delusional.
Yes.
But, like, I
Not
don't
always,
remember
not
ever seeing,
all
like,
of them
animated
are.
ones.
I know I've had ones as far back as 2019. I know I had some. I know they were in before. A lot of them are going to be ones. I think it was definitely probably closer to the monetary side of it, where we had like supply drops and stuff. That's when they came out more. But it's not a super new thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, random side note. I saw a kind of, I guess, nostalgia bait reel about, was it Black Ops 2 or 3 that had the like completely custom emblems where you like make your emblem with shapes and stuff.
Both of them had it.
Yeah, no, I saw it. I was like, why did they not bring that back? Because that seems awesome.
I can tell you. I can tell you. Genitalia. People would make genitalia, and people would say the N-word. And here's what they used to do. And out of more customization, you had paint jobs, and you can throw all those details on your gun, including your emblem. But that also means people would have dual pistols with the N-word.
Yeah. What they really should do is like put a level minimum on it, so you have to be like, what, level 50, I guess? Like a high enough amount that not every player is going to be able to do it, but low enough that it's perceivable to get when you start out. And then have it be a case of submit it for review. So like you make it, you submit it, and they have to review it, or a system has to review it to see if the picture has anything that wouldn't be appropriate.
I think it should be the same thing as Fortnite. Well, they're not going to, I'll tell you that, based on how they've done like a lot of stuff. But it should just be as simple as like Fortnite. Like if you do have something like you have a setting, right, and you turn it off, you don't want to see that. But if you do want to, and if you don't want to see it, you have a default emblem. You choose a default emblem, and then you have your custom emblem. And then if you have the switch turned on, you see it, no matter what it is. It's the same thing as like signing up and knowing that they are not going to monitor it.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
think that would help everyone. Like, say that you do have like you have a base camo, and that's what people see. But if you have the setting turned on, it can have all that stuff on it. Because I don't care. Some people don't care. Some people, I don't know. But that's why, and I will say, it's really funny. In the years that I've played COD, some people are great artists.
Yeah, no.
In the most
I
worst
saw a
ways.
couple of them that were
In
made,
the
and it was
worst
like,
ways.
yeah, why do I have like an egg holding AK-47s as an icon? Like that why?
That was not a that was not a Call of Duty one. Actually, it could have been. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, it was Call of Duty, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't mean Call of Duty. I mean people with the custom one. Like, I've seen some hyper-realistic genitalia, and it's not great. I'm just getting a kill, and it is just... Anyway. So I can tell you, there is a valid reason to it. I don't agree with it. I wish there was another way. But that's why we don't have custom emblems. So emblems. Let's talk about... First, loading screens. How do you feel about loading screens?
There's not enough of them.
I mean, yet. To be fair, again, the game isn't out yet. I am kind of disappointed there's not more, but I think there is one or two that you get from the campaign, and then there's one per prestige.
Yeah, I am kind of like missing the animated ones. Like, I feel like with all the other animated like calling cards and emblems, why not loading screens? Like, an animated loading screen would make so much sense, especially for a couple of these. They look like they should be animated, but yeah.
I think it it might just be like a performance thing, like it's loading into the match. They're probably trying to reduce that. But also, there's plenty of rewards. Like, it just came out. There's going to be more rewards coming. And I wouldn't be surprised if, like, there's, like, a level 1000 reward, and that is an animated loading screen.
I do appreciate the fact that they put a random selection in there as well.
Yes. But yeah. Then let's get into calling cards. That's the final thing. Calling cards are always interesting. Some of them are, like, really confusing. I'm like, what is that? What is this? For example, I have one for Ultra Kill, which is 7 rapid kills. And then I also have one that's, like, something else. And the one with the Ultra Kill is a dinosaur holding an AK.
Yeah.
But then, like, my Mega Kill, which is 6 rapid kills, is the Gray Reaper. And that looks cool. And that makes sense because the medal itself is, like, a Gray Reaper holding, like, cards and stuff. Where did the dragon come? Where did the dinosaur come from?
Yeah. A little strange.
But what do you think about it in the term of customizability, but also challenges? Like, there's so many challenges.
I think it's really cool, and I think with how many there are, there's almost guaranteed to be one that somebody's gonna like, and it seems very plausible to, you know, shoot for it and actually try and get to the point where you can unlock it. I wish for the ones that said, like, enter prestige to reveal requirement, I wish it would tell you what the challenge is, but also say that you have to get to that prestige, because I could, like, be all for a calling card in prestige 6, but get to prestige 6 and be like, well, I'm not highly skilled enough to get that, and I just got here for nothing. So
that's fair. Let's see if I go over it now. But then what do you think about the animated ones? While I pull up,
animated ones are cool. I like calling cards as animated things better than logos or even loading screens. I think because it's just cool to see it, like, pop up when you get a kill or stuff like that. I wish there was some more, and I wish it was more loop animations rather than GIFs, because I see some of them are GIFs and it's, like, weird to have just the random cut in it. But
yeah, some of them are definitely better than others.
Yeah, the GIF ones flow better. I like those.
I will say, though, I think just the animated is for the higher tier. For example, like, if you go through all the prestiges, all the ones aren't animated except when you complete the prestige. So when you do all 6 challenges, then you get another one, and that is an animated one. It just adds to that level of, I earned this. It's animated because it is difficult.
Yeah. I will say, I got one without trying earlier in the campaign. When you used the RC in the first mission, I blew up, I think it was 3 guys. And I had to laugh when I looked at the calling card, because that's just funny as heck.
Yeah, I don't think... There's definitely some that I got, and there's going to be more in the campaign. I'm trying to see. Some of them are really, really good. I'm happy that campaign has it as well.
Yeah.
Did you look through the zombie ones too?
I did. A lot of them are awesome.
Yeah, no, some of them are great. And then for multiplayer, I had, like, Chain Killer. You got one for unlocking gold and diamond. There's some, like... Yeah, no, there's just some great ones. I can't wait to keep going through this. But yeah, so it's just... And this is, like, again, what I wish XDefiant had, and it needs, as proper, entertaining challenge grind. I don't just want, every 5,000 kills I get something. Here's challenges. If I use a Simtex, I get a calling card. I use a frag grenade, I get a different calling card. If I get double kills, I get a calling card. Like, not just mindlessly playing. Like, I have to properly go for some stuff. But yeah. So, is that it then?
Yeah, we can hop into guns, I guess.
Guns! Or do you want to go to progression and then we can go through the guns?
I mean, I feel like progression is progression. It's just showing you what you unlock per level.
Well, I don't just mean that. I mean, like, the prestige and stuff. So there's prestige! And the most rewarding prestige we've had to date. How do you feel about the amount of rewards that we did get? Just
There's
how
a lot.
much there is.
There is certainly a lot.
So obviously you haven't prestige yet. A prestige level 24. And let me tell you, I can tell who has not played old Call of Duty on Twitter. Because there are people complaining about your stuff getting relocked. and you could tell these guys have not played before 2019. I also say it's funny seeing all the OG people saying, I remember complaining about that way back in COD Modern Warfare, like, original in 2007.
Yeah.
I remember it too, like, oh no, where'd my sniper go? I don't have that anymore. That sucks. So yeah, like you said, the basic progression's there. Level 1 through 55, it's the military ranks, and then you have prestige. There's 10 prestiges, and then when you get into prestige, there is a multiple rewards that you get based on different Call of Duties, which also, I don't know if you saw, there's even a thing where it shows, I don't know where it is, but it shows when those Call of Duties released, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the emblems real quick for prestige?
Cool. I guess I think they could be
Obviously
more themed. Like, a lot of them are kind of just, like, out there.
They're all themed. Because they're all based on Call of Duty.
I mean, more cohesive. Like a progression emblem instead of just, like, random other things.
Yeah.
Like, they all reference something, and they are all well made, but I would honestly have rather had something more cohesive. Like, Prestige 6, 9, and 10 all look fairly similar to each other. If it were something kind of in the form of that, where it's like, maybe have a skull in the middle, and each prestige level adds something to it, or makes it look like a different character, or something like that, it would have made a lot more sense, and kind of made it easier to tell which prestige somebody was at a glance. Whereas this is like, unless I like memorize the order, I'm not gonna know what prestige the Jester is or what the Nuke Town is.
I kind of get what you mean, but I will say if you I'm trying to find it. So if we go to Progression Prestige, where is it? If you there's a list and it shows all of them from old Call of Duties. This isn't an uncommon thing. Like, they're not, most of the Call of Duties don't have that after a certain point. Like, the original Modern Warfare did. I'm trying to find it. Is it?
Damn.
Profile?
I just wish it was
Profile.
that way.
And then you go to Master Prestige, and then you can go through and you can see a lot of, like, Prestige 1 through 7. And that's kind of how it's been. I get what you mean, though. But again, it's definitely more for the people that used to play. So, like, Ted is a robot on the zombie map. You know, stuff like that. It definitely hits the heartstrings, nostalgia strings type of thing. But yeah, so that's just it. I'm really happy it's there. It adds a lot. We talked about the stat system. And then, yeah, so let's get into the guns and camos and stuff. In loadout. So how many guns and, like, categories have you used so far? I know you haven't played too much.
I used the ARs,
and this would
SMGs.
go for beta, too.
Yeah, ARs, SMGs. I used, both a shotgun and a sniper in the beta, and then I did get a little bit of pistol gameplay, but once again, take it with a grain of salt because I was not having the best connection time while using these, so...
Yeah, so how do you feel? Because I will say, I think the game's pretty fairly balanced. I know some people are going to disagree, and some of those people are just stupid. Like, some people are saying, like, the C9 is, like, the best gun, it's not, and then some people are saying SMGs are the worst category, when with Omni movement and how small the maps are, it is SMG dominant. That is not a debate. Like, so I don't know what some people think, but I think it's fairly balanced.
Yes, I have seen a very good bit of balance, and I think, I will say, there was one sniper that I saw a couple of clips of that you could hip fire with, and it was
not
just
one,
broken.
Three?
All three?
It is a specific...
Okay. I wasn't sure, because
so
I only ever saw it with this one, but...
So it's an attachment, and pretty much what it does is it's like attack stance.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not fully hip fire, but you don't fully ADS. You're kind of like looking down the side of the gun or something.
Mm-hmm.
And because of just the way the games work, snipers aren't super great. So people are using that because it's easier than quick scoping. And yeah, so it's just a specific attachment you can put on. But you can use it with all three. That doesn't seem super
balanced, because I've seen so many people just die one shot from that. So,
yeah, snipers themselves are kind of in a terrible state. Like, there's wobble, there's weird stun, the flinch is weird, the ADS is slow. But from the from what I've heard, that's how Colder was as well, the last Treyarch game. So it's probably in an update or two, we'll get some changes and balance it out. So other than snipers, and I think other than that, generally snipers are honestly weaker than they normally are. But other than the snipers, I think shotguns are also weak. I don't know how you feel about that. I think shotguns feel free.
There were a couple times in the betas when I used shotguns where it was... they were weird. Like, just to use, they were a little weird. It felt like... Obviously, it's kind of a gamble with shotguns. Like, if you miss your first shot, they're probably going to kill you. So you have to hit your first shot. But it felt a lot more ramped up with the shotgun I was using at the very least, where it was like, it's hard to hit your first shot, and if you don't, you pretty much threw away your life and you're gonna die. I don't know.
I will say, there's this weird hip fire delay for no-scopes with snipers, and from the sounds of it, I think it's with shotguns too, which might kind of feel like, what should I explain where they feel a little weird? Because there's just a weird delay with hip fire, and that's just how to use a shotgun.
Yeah, at least for the shotgun that was in the beta, I feel like upping the pellet damage would be helpful. That way you don't have to hit all your shot, because, like, if I miss 2 pellets, he's not dead, and I'm dead. So... just up the pellet damage so that I can miss 1 or 2 pellets and still be okay. But, no, I think even in terms of, like, how weak stuff goes, they are still fairly balanced. Like, it's not, like, super underpowered. It's still to a point where it's, like, acceptable to use.
Yeah, and I will say, some people are saying they're complaining about the lack of guns, because this is definitely, comparison, like, last year we had, like, 40-something guns at launch. There's only 33, and that includes melee and rocket launchers. I think that's a good thing, because we got 16 brand new maps. The most we've ever had. I saw a list. It is the most we've ever had from a Call of Duty. Maybe since, like, the original Modern Warfare. And it gives them the ability to balance it easier, because if they had to make 16 maps and balance 30 primary weapons, and, like, 10 secondaries and melee and all that stuff, it just would be a headache. So it allows them to balance it a bit more with all the attachments and omni movement and stuff.
Yeah.
So what kind of categories have you used most?
I think ARs and SMGs are what I used most.
Okay. Yeah. So, and then another thing I want to talk about real quick. Actually, no. How do you feel with the gunsmith, like, attachment to stuff? Because it's definitely a little different.
It is a little different. So far I think I've liked it. I've seen better, I think. Don't ask me what, because I'm not going to be able to tell you. But I feel like I have seen better ways it's done. But I don't dislike this at all. I think it's straightforward, it explains itself to you, and it's easy to understand. So, in the end, like, it's still pretty good. I like the way they did attachments, like... It's not overcomplicated. Like, COD Mobile, I don't even know what they were doing with all their attachments and guns. They had hundreds of guns, and each gun had hundreds of attachments. It was chaos. But
so
here...
I can tell you which is easier, which was before 2019, before Gunsmith, where we had, like, 12 total attach rates. But I will say, it's definitely simplified a lot to compare to the previous years, where we had, quite literally, 50... reticles. That's a bit much. So it's definitely a lot more simplified, and I think that's good hearing it from someone like you that obviously is not, like, super in depth with the system and played with it for 5 years at this point. So I think that's a good thing. What do you think about the advanced stats? Have you used it? I haven't.
I have not, no.
No, it's definitely not going to be for the most people. Most people aren't going to see this, but I can see it, for example, for someone like me, I can see it being really well for the ADS speed. The handling is kind of covered with fire mods, but I could see it being useful for, like, snipers and seeing if I want the fastest ADS speed for quickscoping, which attachments are going to modify that the most. So it's nice having it there, but it's not going to be something I'm going to use for every time I use a gun.
Yeah.
So that's the primary. What about secondary? You sort of used pistols a little bit. How are you feeling about that?
All right. I've always felt like pistols are kind of underpowered. Like, and keep in mind, I've just used the first one, the 9mm PM.
That one was in the beta too, and that definitely felt a little weak.
Yeah, it's hard to use it as a main weapon, in my opinion. Like, it's a pistol, so obviously it's not going to do as much damage as an AR, but I think in the end this one just seems too weak. Like, you're gonna get killed if you start shooting at the same time. You're gonna get killed by any other weapon in the game first before you can probably get the kill with the pistol, so you have to outplay them maneuver-wise. So it kind of changes how it expects you to play just by switching from your primary to secondary, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'd like to be able to use the pistol like it's a gun, but I haven't tried any of the other ones either, so it could just be a this gun thing.
This one definitely does feel weaker, like the weakest. I have actually gotten the second one, which I didn't realize at first, is a fully auto.
Oh, lovely.
And here's what's great about the second one, JJ. You can get a 60 round 9. And you could dual wield it.
Oh, lovely.
Fire. So I have two classes made for that, 2 blueprints. One which is the full wield pure chaos, the other one more practical with some recoil control attachments. But I will say I already got that gold, I maxed it out, max level and stuff. I have almost 700 kills of it.
Yeah.
But the first pistol definitely feels the weakest. I'm guessing you haven't used any launchers?
No.
Okay. Probably won't.
Probably not. I'm not a fan of
using
using
it. Well, I'm using it specifically because I already get dark matter. You have to use gold on everything. So I'm only using it to get gold, and then I'm not touching it until I need it. And then melee. Did you use melee at all?
Like
the designated melee slot?
Just a tiny bit when I needed to punch people because I was out of ammo.
No, not that. The designated melees. Because remember, not just meleeing just punching them. The designated melee slot where you
That's
pull
what I
out
mean.
a knife.
Punch people with a knife.
Well, it's not punching them.
I'm punching
You're
them with a
stabbing
knife.
them. You're slitting their throat.
Stabbing is just punching with a knife, Seth.
Okay. Anyway, I have used it, and I gotta say it's actually been really fun. I actually got the baseball bat as well, and I got that gold, and now I've gotten the knife diamond. Once I unlock the baseball bat again, I'll get it diamond. I will say that's one thing that I'm trying to be smart about with the progression is I could unlock stuff at level 55, but I'd rather wait because that's void XP. You get like 5,000 XP for unlocking gold. If I'm max level, that's 5,000 XP that's not going anywhere. So, try to be smart about it. So, like, I didn't unlock diamond because I just waited because I could prestige right away. But I'll unlock that. But I've had a fun blast. I will say the baseball bat's terrible.
Yeah?
It's faster than the knife. Okay? So, why do you think it'd be terrible if it's faster than the knife for swinging?
Because it'd be less damage, right?
It is 2-hit. It is a 2-hit.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just terrible. So what I did was I went to hardcore where it was 1 hit. But it was just, why? Like, we could make it slightly faster, but like, why? Why 2-hit? 2 hits is just terrible. Because I feel like that removes the whole point of the melee. But
I feel like if you're gonna do a 2-hit, make it like a burst kind of thing, where like one pull of the trigger makes it do 2 quick jabs, and you can miss the second jab, but make it like 2 quick jabs. That way it makes more sense, and it's still like faster. So like one double jab is the same time like animation as swinging with the knife.
Yeah. So actually, real quick, another thing with camos. Do you have any blueprints? Like, did you get the Bug Smasher for the XM4?
I don't know. I did get the knife skin for solving the puzzles. Okay.
So what's really cool is you can actually put camos on them.
Mm-hmm.
Which, what that means, though, is obviously that one's not that crazy, but imagine the ones from the Vault Edition. The knife with the eye and everything, you can throw diamond camo on that.
Dang.
Like, all of them, which is, like, awesome. So, like, I just have the base knife with diamond because I can see the diamond, but, like, I could have, like, gold, and then it's be, like, dark, or, like, dark matter would make, like, the entire knife purple, which is just so cool. So, I'm really happy about that. Those are primaries too. But let's quickly talk about the tacticals and lethals. What do you think about those? Because compared to X Defiant, right, you could only have one, whereas we could have tactical and lethal in here.
Yeah, so I'm never really one to use these unless it's like I know somebody's camping, so I throw a frag up there, or obviously stim is super useful just in normal combat. The main kind of thing I use would be like the prox alarm or like a trip mine or something like that. So I haven't unlocked those yet, so I haven't used like the concussion or flashbang very much, or frag and semtex, which I have. But no, like once I unlock things like C4 or even like the Molotov blast trap, those kinds of things, then I'll be using my tacticals and lethals a lot more.
Yeah, I will say I actually already used my permanent unlock token for Prestige 1. It was on the stim. I just want to always have it. And here's what's really fun, JJ, is the tactical expert actually gives me 3 of them. So I have 3 stims. And they charge over time for free.
No.
In old CODs, you had to like have one of your perks allow you to recharge equipment over time. I just have 3, and it's only stim that does that. So it's on like a inventory cooldown type of thing. It's great. So I just run around with it. It's really nice. So I will always use stim. However, there is a reason I'll use something else, and we'll talk about it in a minute. Then there's field upgrades. They're in zombies as well. They're in multiplayer. They're interesting. I think it just adds a little extra dynamic to the game.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to use it purely for the fact that, 1, I play hardcore, and it's not in the UI, so I forget about it. And 2, I forget about it, so even in core, I just don't use it.
I did like the at least the assault pack. I think is really useful, because then if you don't have any like perks equipped to give you extra ammo, you can just get an instant refill from the assault pack, which is really nice.
I'm almost done with it. But and then perks. How do you feel about the perk system? You know, we have all the perks now. You can use it. I don't know if you've used them all, but you've been able to see them. How do you feel about the perk system? It's about the same. I think it's a little. They switched a few around from beta.
I enjoy it. I do. I think it's annoying that right off the bat you can't get one of the like the
bonuses,
ultra perks. Yeah, the bonuses.
Specialty.
You have to like go through and actually unlock some more of the different colors. But I do like a lot of the perks given. I think some of the blue ones are a little meh. I think they could be a little better.
I will say, no, the blue ones are good. It's just for the playstyle. For example, a lot of people use the blue ones like Ninja and Ghost because it pretty much cancels out footstep audio and like battles campers, or if you're playing Search and Destroy, they're really good and allows you to sneak around enemies. Most people aren't. Like, I don't actually feel any different. I know there is. It's just I don't pay attention enough to care. I just run.
Yeah.
But the blue ones have been in the game for a long time, and they definitely have not the perk bonus perks themselves. These have been a lot of the perks that people have used for years.
Yeah, I think personally, like, I am a strategist, and so the strategy perks being not all that helpful in the grand scheme of things, especially for a player who's not seasoned and knowing everything about the game, it would have been cooler to have some other ones that actually seem to have more of an effect. But they're still cool. Like, seeing footsteps is cool. Like, being hidden is always helpful. But yeah, no, the specialty perks are really the things that I think make the difference and make a lot of things fun. Like, I used Enforcer a lot through the beta. Like, it was just fun to run around and have those temporary buffs.
So actually, do you know what's funny is when I prestiged, my first goal was I wanted to get the gold and then diamond knife, right? Because I just unlocked the diamond or the gold baseball bat, but I was saving to get gold on the knife until I prestiged to get that XP. But do you know what it required? Enforcer bonus. So I got 5 kills and I realized it didn't work, so then I had to grind to level 14 to unlock double time to get my third perk to then get it. That was kind of annoying. But yeah, I think the specialty bonus is great. I think there definitely needs to be some balance. I do think strategist needs to be a little bit stronger, and I think recon needs nerfed. Because if you're playing on those really small maps, every time you die, you see everyone through walls. And it's just a bit like that doesn't seem that bad, but when you can instantly like die and respawn again and see them, and then you prepare, I think it should be on maybe a little bit of a cooldown. So not every time you die, but it's on a 20-second cooldown. So if you die within 20 seconds, you don't get it.
Yeah.
And then wild cards. I don't think do you have any wild cards yet?
I do not have any wild cards yet,
Okay.
no, but I did use them in the beta.
What do you do with the wild cards?
I really like it as an addition, actually. I think it's a really cool way to spice things up.
Yeah, no, it's great. Like I said, I've mostly been using TAC. I can see a lot of people using TAC Expert for their 3 stims or Perp Greed. So, for example, right, I want to use Tracker, or actually, here's a more one that a lot of people can use, Scavenger, but you want to use the blue perks. Well, what are you going to do? You use Perk Greed, so you can get your blue perk, your red perk, whatever, and then you could use a perk from a different category still. So I can see a lot of people were actually prestiging when they prestige. That was their first reward, just so you can keep 4 perks. And it just adds another little dynamicness that you can make to your loadouts. One last thing, we'll talk about the camo grind. Have you got any camos yet? Have you got enough headshots on anything?
I got one camo for the XM4. It was just kills, I think.
No, headshots. Well, actually, yeah, no, headshots.
No, hold on. Let me look. I think it was just
Headshots.
kills.
Headshots.
No, hold on.
Headshots.
Oh, it was from zombies. It was from zombies.
And use critical kills.
Yeah,
or
critical
headshots
kills.
on
Yeah.
zombies.
Okay.
So
It was
headshots.
zombies.
I was like, no, you can't. Literally all the challenges.
Yeah, zombies,
until you get to the
critical
special.
kills. So multiplayer,
Yeah.
no, but zombies, yes.
Okay, yeah. I've got a few zombies. I've gotten 5 gold guns. I've gotten a gold sniper, SMG, pistol, and then both the melee weapons. I got both. And it's been fun. It's definitely a little harder. I will say I'm a little disappointed that they're all headshots. It's not the fact that I don't want ARs or SMGs. I'm fine with headshots. I don't want kills. It's the fact that stuff like snipers and shotguns should be one-hits. Like one-shot kills, not headshots.
Can I just say, though, it is really nice to not have, like, what would it be, like 7, 8 different categories that I have to get all the camos in to even get towards the mastery camos. Like, in COD Mobile, you know, I reference that one a lot, by the way, podcast, because that's the one I think I've played the most out of every Call of Duty game.
I will say that's also, that's actually a good thing to base it off of. Not a good thing, that's not what all COD is, but that's the Warzone era. So in 2019 up till, like, last year pretty much, that is how the camo grind worked, and that is what a lot of people are not happy about, and that's why I'm happy about the headshots, because it's not over
yeah, that one, it's like, that's the main reason I didn't grind that game, because there was just so much. Like, each type of camo had like 10 different variations, and you had to get all of those variations, and then move on to the next category in order to get towards the mastery.
Like
yeah, so having just like 10 different camos that aren't the same camo in different colors and all have the same different goal, it's nice to see a plausible progression for somebody as casual as me.
I definitely think, obviously, you're not going to get it done in a week. Like, you're not going to get gold or diamond by the end of the weekend. But I could definitely see you unlocking by the time the game's, like, over, like, next year comes out. Because, you know, if it's on Game Pass again, you can play that one.
Yeah.
I can see you by the end of the year getting Dark Matter. Possibly.
Yeah.
You have to play enough, and you have to get headshots enough, but it is practical enough. For example, like, the XM4 100 headshot. You can easily get that done if you play enough. And then 30 kills shortly after sprinting. I think you know how to sprint.
No.
Just double checking. You can sprint, right?
I'm bad at sprinting. My legs don't
Okay,
work.
well then you might not be able to get gold. And then 30 kills without taking damage. That's just so easy. A lot of them are the bonuses. So like certain guns you have to use the recon, certain you have to use enforcer. But it's very practical. It's very streamlined. I will say there is one problem that I have with the camo system, and that's the fact that the specialist, they're good, right? And the specialist you can use on any gun, right? So if you unlock the muddled on the XM4, I can use it on my pistol. That doesn't sound bad, right?
Yeah.
The problem is you have to complete your military camos. So I'd have to get the 100 headshots, and then I might as well just use the new one, or I'm quite literally 2-3 games away. You should just be able to use it right straight at the bat. Like, I should just be able to unlock these and use them. That's how it used to be if you had like a universal one. So that's my only gripe with the camo grind. But no. And then what do you think about the camos? Now that you can go through zombies and multiplayer, and you can look at mastery, and then you can go through special ones. How do you feel about the camos visually? Especially for someone like you that likes their little bit of flash.
Yeah, I like them, and especially towards the end where they actually get a little more colorful. Like, I'm not one for, like, the military kind of camos, like the actual camo and, like, the
military
Splinter's kind of cool, but, like,
challenges.
Moss, no. Saboteur, no. Digital, no. But once you start getting, like, Tide, I like Tide. A couple of the special ones are really cool, and then obviously the masteries are just awesome. Like, I've seen a lot of the mastery camos, just, like, I feel like it's common internet knowledge to see a lot of them across the different Call of Duty
Gold's
games.
iconic at this point, and that's definitely because of Call of Duty. Like, Gold
and
back in
Diamond
the day of
and
COD 4.
Some of the older, like, were they all called Dark Matter? Like, the purpley ones?
So the history behind Dark Matter, and the reason it's Dark Matter is because up until Black Ops 2, the max camo was gold. That's all you can get. Black Ops 2 came out and you could unlock Diamond, which is per the category. And then Black Ops 3 came out and we got Dark Matter. It's not always Dark Matter unless it's a tryout game. They've always done some iteration. For example, Cold War was DM Ultra, Dark Matter Ultra. It's always some iteration. Whereas a different game, for example, Vanguard had Atomic. Modern Warfare 2019 and COD Mobile had Damascus, which is the same thing. It's just Treyarch always does Dark Matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
but no,
Dark
I
Matter
do,
is great.
I do really like the mastery camos in this one. Dark Spine, I think, is my favorite just because it's not like over the top, like the gun is see-through kind of camo, but it's a solid thing that has an animation, and the animation is colorful, and it just looks really cool.
I'll have to try Dark Spine. I think that's my least favorite just because there's so many things that it just kind of looks weird on. Like the knife, it just looks really weird on the knife versus something like Diamond or Dark Matter. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to be going for Dark Matter and Zombies as well. I kind of want to go for Warzone, but I also don't want to. I think it is kills in Warzone, if that makes you feel any better. Because imagine trying to get 1,000 headshots. Or so or something.
That'd be crazy.
But and then the final grind is, how do you feel the mastery badges? Have you seen those?
Oh, mastery badges.
So if you go into your loadouts and you go over it, it will show right next to it your amount of elims. Obviously, it's not filled. It's just going to show elims, but those are badges. And what you do is when you complete it, you get bronze, silver, and then when you get gold, it'll actually show your elims on the badge. So if you go over to my name right now, like in-game, in friends list, and you go over in my game, you can see my mastery badges. And you can see I have the pistol, you can see the PP919, I have 668 kills. The front line, I don't have gold, so it doesn't show the elims. But when I do, it will show it. And you can, well, the difference is there is one more, and that's diamond, and that's when you complete the category. So if I get gold or all the pistols, I can show off my diamond pistol, and this is the main one I've been using, but I've used all of them.
Yeah.
And what's cool about this is everyone can see it. So have you looked at people's thing? Because you can see the polling cards, their badges, you can see their operator showcase and their weapon showcase.
None of my friends play this game, so I don't have any other people than you that have anything.
You could also go to recent, so I wasn't sure if you did that, because I can
do that. The tab. Here's one person that has something.
Have not much. You do have polling cards.
Yeah.
I think they auto-equip when you unlock it, at least for the badges as well. But you can switch it too. So right now it's showing those 2 gold because they're my highest. But I can, once I unlock everything, I can specifically show, hey, I've gotten crazy mastery with the knife and crazy mastery with the sniper or something. And everyone can see it. And from what I've seen, I think you can see it in kill cams and stuff too. I just don't think people have unlocked it a lot, but I believe you can see it there as well, which is really cool. But yeah. So there's that. Anything else about the weapons and stuff?
I don't think so. We gotta start wrapping this up soon because we're already in an hour and a half.
I said because there's a lot. We have the modes and maps. Let's try to quickly just go through and talk about that. The modes. How do you feel about the modes?
They're fun. Obviously, it's like your classic slew of stuff, so a lot of it is typical.
So,
I will say I appreciate having what is it, search and destroy or diffuse or what is it called in this
search
one?
and destroy in this game.
Yeah, search and destroy. Okay, I appreciate that as a mode because I do think that's like a completely different audience. So having that in there is really cool to see the kind of reach they're getting.
I will say, so it's the app, like you said, it's average. However, that's going to change tomorrow. So we have our team deathmatch, domination, hardpoint. Tomorrow, we're actually getting infected, which is a great multiplayer mode. Infected is where you have one big team of like 12 players, right? Then randomly one person becomes a zombie, and all they have is a knife and throwing knife. And you have to kill the other people, and when you kill them, they respawn as a zombie. When?
Halo?
But when? Because we've had this since
CE.
I don't know what that one is.
The first one.
Oh. Well, Call of Duty does it better.
Bruh.
But the big thing about that is it's like we're already getting new game modes, and we're going to be getting prop hunt and other stuff, and then Nuketown is coming this Friday. So like within a week, we're already going to be getting some good updates.
Yeah, definitely excited.
So there's the game modes. Yeah, nothing super crazy. I'm happy that there is hardcore though. I like playing hardcore and Xtify it. Just Face Off. Did you play Face Off at all?
I don't think I did. No.
It's brain rot. It's pure brain rot. It's just so stupid. And then maps. How do you feel about the maps, visually and flow-wise?
I've been liking the maps so far. A lot of them are very interesting because they have to take Omni movement into account now, so a lot of them are different than what we've been getting over the past few years, so it's interesting to see how that new mechanic changes things, but visually I have liked them as well because they're, it's a new console game. They're able to take advantage of that, and it allows to add quite a bit more.
I also think it's good. I've seen a lot of people that. I definitely do think the maps are the weakest point of the game. But I do enjoy them. At least visually, they're stunning. Like, I'm really happy. They're distinct, different. A lot of stuff is based off the campaign as well, which is really fun. One thing I want to hear your thoughts on the ended as, like, the little goofy part. Stakeout. That's one of the maps. It's a 2v2 map. It is just the top floor of an apartment complex, right? We have theater mode, where we can go fly around. So if you've ever played the map, for the viewers as well, and you're wondering why it lags, it's because, so you know how you can look out and there's other stuff outside of the map? Like you look out and you see like a town down the road or something. Those are meshes, right? And generally you don't see that much, or it's that close. Well, this house also has it, but you don't go outside. You don't even go downstairs. Here's the fun part. If you go out, it's a battle royale map. It's massive. You can go like normally there's a blockade, and then you can go through the floor. Like there's literally like no like barrier. It just goes. I saw Murph Music said he found a map from World War. There's other multiplayer maps. There's from this game, from other games. It's just a full like battle royale map, and I've definitely seen some people concerning that these are just ripped out of the new map. I think it might be the other way around. I don't know. So that's fun. It's just straight up there. Like you can go free fly.
Yeah.
But overall, good, bad, enjoyed it.
Good.
What's your favorite part? What's your favorite part so far?
It's definitely fun. Probably the most fun I've had in a FPS, especially Call of Duty game, in a long time. Favorite part is probably zombies. It's just really cool to have that game mode and have it be so fleshed out as opposed to the ones I've played. So I think that's the part I'm enjoying most.
Yeah, honestly, I'm enjoying it. I'm at like 20 hours, 30 hours, and we're only on the first weekend. And I don't know what my favorite part is. I really enjoy the campaign. The zombies is fleshed out, like you said, but probably multiplayer and the camo grind. How it's practical. You don't have to be like super good at the game or just have to really ruin your playstyle to get it done. But yeah, so this is a longer one. We know. Brand new game. Well, what are you thinking? Do you think we're going to do like a season 1 episode on COD? like, how much do you think you're going to be playing? Because I know I could, and there's going to be content. But just, for you or for the viewers as well. Do you think we're going to do that?
Yeah, well,
I'm down
I have
with
to
it.
find out. I honestly think it all depends on how good a connection I can get, because it's, at this point, it's not playable right now for me. I've played a little bit, and it's just when my Wi-Fi decides to cooperate. So if I can get a better connection, I will be playing more. Like, this will be the game I go to after I've done my Fortnite quest. So it just depends on that.
So if you do want Fortnite, we're doing Fortnite next week with the event with OG, with Call of Duty, or other video games or other shows. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when we do upload a video. If you want to join the discussion, where can they go?
They can go to our Discord, Seth.
Yep, link tree for all that. We also have an Instagram and Twitter at Nerd Rant Podcast. Once again, I'm Dr. Zombrain with my co-host. Thanks to all for watching. Peace.
Bye.